Aloha. Oh, Tara is just finishing up. So let's give everyone a few minutes to pop back over here. And yeah, I'm burning a little Palo Santo to try and calm myself down. There we go. Aloha, everybody. Wow, there's a lot of you in here already. So tonight, I am going to be talking about using the Tarot for ancestor work and past life work, which I didn't used to think went hand in hand, but the more I work with ancestors and past lives, the more I realize they're kind of two sides of the same coin. And really the thing that brought it home for me, really, how ancestor work and past life work are interconnected, is that I was giving group past life regressions, and there was this mother and daughter team that came to this group past life regression, and the daughter was a yoga instructor and totally into all of the spiritual, esoteric side of things. And the mom was very much a skeptic, didn't believe. She was just going along because the daughter had dragged her along. Well, the interesting thing is during that group past life regression, the daughter, who was open and wanted it, I think she fell asleep. I'm not sure exactly what happened with her, but she got nothing out of the session. Whereas the mother, who came in expecting nothing, actually had a vivid past life memory of being her own grandmother, with her father pulling on her apron strings. So that incident is really what cemented the idea of ancestor work and past life work as being interconnected. So I just jumped right in, didn't even say hi to everybody. So aloha, everybody. And there's 77 of you, so I'm not going to attempt to say hello to each individual. Just know that I love you. So as far as how the Tarot interacts with ancestor work, past life work, I've actually, over the years, have collected quite a lot of spreads. So, you know, Whispers of the Ancestors. We got, Ancestry Tarot spread from Emerald Lotus Divination, one of my favorite spread sites. Into the Lineage, Tarot of the Ancestral Trauma. And then I started actually creating my own spread specifically to work with ancestors, right? This one, the lovely Ishi helped me put together for Jilly's Sit With Me. And then this is a spread that I used quite often for my own work. Often when I'm doing a past life, one-on-one past life regression with someone, I do this spread at the end of the regression just so we can tap into what's going on with that life, why the things that are bubbling up from that life are bubbling up in this life, right? So the things that you need to confront in order to move past, basically. And there's so many. I mean, if you do a Google for either ancestor spread or past life spread, you're gonna get a ton. And then there's also a book that unfortunately I don't have on me right now, but the Samsara Tarot is this very interesting book that it's a thick book. It's got tons of spreads in there, and that's really based on past life. They even have a future life spread in there. And then there's a spread in there that I refuse to use. It's the time of death spread, basically. It's talking about how you're going to die in this life, and I don't really want to know. So I don't know many people who would want to know. So that one came out all faded. Oh well. So kind of smashing those two things together, the ancestor spread and the past life spreads, I actually created my own spread here, which I'll actually pop up on the full screen. And I've also shared to the Hermit's Cave, Tarot Play Date, Life Without Walls, Barely Balanced Tarot, and the Ginger Phase Hollow. So if you don't already have a deck handy, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the decks I really like using for this type of work. And if you have one of them, that's great. If not, I mean, just grab one that would be good for ancestor work, past life work, so that we can really just dive deep. Two of the main ones that I usually reach for, well, the Ancestral Path Tarot by Julie Kusha Watts, and the Ma'at Tarot by Julie Kusha Watts. Those two, I think, are profound for this kind of reading. I recently got the Hoodoo Tarot, which unfortunately, this set is not usable. It comes in two piles, and one pile is shorter and wider than the other. So I've written the publisher. Unfortunately, they are out of stock at the moment, but they did get my address so that when they do come in stock, I can get a replacement for this, because this, I think, would be a great deck for this kind of work. Unfortunately, like I said, the two piles are so different in shape that I don't know if I could ever actually even shuffle this deck. So, and then as far as like, you know, either ancestral or place ancestors. So like, say you're Native American, you could do a Native American tarot deck. If you're from Mexico, have Mayan heritage, there's the Sultan Tarot. This one I actually really love for myself because I grew up in California. So this has a lot of my, so ancestors, there's blood ancestors, place ancestors, spiritual ancestors, etc. So this would really touch in on my place ancestors. This deck is amazing because it's it goes through, let's see, do I have the dates on here? Figures from 1848 to 1906. So every figure in the cards are actual historical figures, most of them BIPOC people, and, or, you know, as we call them here in Hawaii, haole allies. So it's the California Tarot, Shadows and Light. So, and I'm actually going to be interviewing the deck creators for this deck on Tuesday here on my channel. If you don't have anything like that, you could always use things like, my cat's coming over here. Tarot de Saint Croix is a great one. There's lots of cultural references. I really love the Super Lunaris because I think everybody can find a representation of themselves in this deck. The Star Seeker was actually bought for me by Gerald and Jamie after we did a past life session together. So I love that. And this deck would be very powerful for that. I'm trying to make a little space so I can actually do the spread with you guys. And let's see what some other ones here. Winged Spirit Tarot, I think, would be good just because it really touches in on like the ethereal side of things, the non-physical. World Spirit Tarot, just because, again, it's very multicultural. So most people could find a card that represents them in there. As far as oracles that you can use for this kind of work, well, this one goes without saying. The Uncover Your Past Lives Oracle is an amazing oracle. And it is actually a round oracle, which is the thing I love about this oracle, is that all the cards are two-sided. So you can actually use both sides of the deck, which is pretty cool. And you can get like really in-depth stuff. Like enslavement and four different kinds of enslavement. The backs are time frame, lesson, death, location, trauma, faith, love, identity, right? So this deck is really great for past life readings. The spread I created specifically for this is more of a mix of past life and ancestor work. And I did, like I said, I created especially for this live. Some other ones that would be good, I think, well, this one kind of goes with the whole past life thing, is The Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. The same creator of the Uncover Your Past Lives Oracle created the Healers of the Earth Oracle. And that would also be, I think, pretty cool to add in here. And these oracles, I'm thinking also kind of like an extra layer on top of the tarot. And then, of course, Roots and Wings, because this is one of the earthiest, most profound oracles that I own, truthfully. And let me just finish getting set up here so I can do the spread with you guys. And I will throw the spread up on the screen in just one moment. So let's see what some of you guys are pulling out. I've barely even seen the chat. My nerves were getting the best of me, so I just went straight into it. Oh, Corvin says that they love the World Spirit Tarot for past life readings too. I love that too. Patrice has the California Tarot. I love it. Yeah, ex-Californian here too. I've technically been on Maui for over 10 years now. So let's see. Relative Tarot. I actually did not get a copy of that. I wish I had gotten an indie copy of that. Super Lunaris, of course. Let's see. Oh, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path is switching decks. It's cool. Sister Nobody is using the Wildwood Tarot. Cosmovisions, of course. Why did I forget that? Yeah, Cosmovisions would be great for this too. I have it just under a pile over there. So let's see, the Uncommon Tarot. Okay. Oh, Oak Mama says she likes the Uncommon Tarot for light ancestral work, but the Hoodoo deck is big guns, which is cool. Essence is using her Tarot de Saint Croix. Mia the Moonlight is going to grab the Crow Tarot. Cool. Okay. So it looks like most people have their decks, which is great. Let me, here we go. So this is the spread that we're using. It's 9 cards. And 1, 2, 3 is in a line, then 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9. And the way I set it up is 1, 2, 3 is past influences, 4, 5, 6 is current influences, and 7, 8, 9 will be the future influences. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat because I need to jump over to banners, because I was smart, and I put in the questions so that it's easier to see. Okay. So I am going to use, this one just keeps calling out to me. So that's the Ma'at Tarot by Julie Kushawatz. And it's not exactly RWS. It's definitely kind of its own thing. And I do wish I had the book for this, but I just need to get it. So I guess let's get started shuffling. What I should do is switch over to my phone so I can at least see what you guys are getting. Go. Let's make sure. Okay, now it's muted. So this deck is so big, I have to shuffle it sideways. Okay, so our first question that we should focus on is an important past life lesson I must understand fully. I think just to save a little time, I'm just going to pull out all 9 at once. I know some people like to shuffle between pulls. Do whatever is most comfortable for you. And we'll put these face down so it's still a surprise. Okay, that way you don't have to wait for me to shuffle. So this first one is important past life lesson you must understand fully. So this is going to be something that is a lesson from a past life that's still echoing in this life. All right. Now that I laid out my cards, my cat has decided to come join us. Move along, little miss. Thank you. So past life lesson I must understand fully. I actually received the, here, let me make embiggen myself. How do I unbiggen? Let me just remove this for a second. So I got the Princess of Cups here, and this is actually reminding me of a past life memory I have of being a Celtic tribal priest, where we were going on a pilgrimage to the next holy spot to continue the rituals that kept the year turning, right? And this is that idea of that pilgrimage, the having something greater drawing you, and that is a lesson that I still struggle with sometimes, because I fight against that draw instead of giving into it. And here I feel like the Princess of Cups is basically the Page of Cups. So I'm still learning to tap into that intuition that's always been there. It's just like that fan over her. She's just trying to like shield herself from it, right? So I'm trying to learn to not shield myself as much, because what I get when I'm not shielded is so profound. So let's see. Let me jump back over to comments on here because the phone is too little. Let's see. Aquarius Al Debbie got the 8 of Pentacles. Essence got the Emperor. Oak Mama got the Magician. Nancy Paperman Tarot got Page of Wands, 8 of Wands, 3 of Wands. So looks like lots of it's pretty nice spread, actually. Each of us has our own thing that we're working through, right? Mimi Lou and me got the Star. Maybe trying to pull up from a Tower moment. Regina Tarot says she's spooked with this Empress card because it represents Inanna from the Epic of Gilgamesh in this deck, and she keeps popping up in my head today. Wow, that is pretty amazing, Regina. And thank you for throwing up the question in the chat, Sadhana. Oh, Julie's here. So that's the Ma'at judgment. She's using the Ma'at as well. Oh, the chat keeps jumping. Michelle Montemayor got the Devil reversed and the 2 of Pence reversed. Oh, interesting. She got 2 jumpers there. Auntie K got 3 of Cups. The Fighter from Cosmovisions got Harrison got it. So some very interesting cards for everybody, right? pretty deep. I know for me that was the rather deep card. So let us move on to question 2. So again, this is right below 1 there. We're doing it in columns. So this question is an ancestral lesson that I carry. So this is something that's passed down through the ancestral line. It could even be something that was ingrained in you by parents or grandparents, right? Maybe aunts, uncles even. But it's an ancestral lesson that your whole family carries. And it's not just you, it's the family unit. And I got a very beautiful card here. I got the 6 of Wands. And I love that snowy owl. Snowy owl in the snow itself just really speaks to me of being like that pinnacle predator, that not necessarily predator that I'm preying on people, but just like, you know, they don't have to worry about being prey themselves. They blend in with the snow, so it's hard for other creatures to even notice them. And 6 of Wands, as you know, is the laurel, right? Like winning out no matter what. So that is the ancestral lesson I carry, is that winning despite everything, right? And it's true. I mean, there's been times that I've had really hard times in my life, but most people wouldn't consider them hard because it's not something that's that hard to struggle through. Like, you know, winter, oh no, there's not as much food, but I'm still eating, I'm still doing okay, right? So let's switch back over to the comments. So Regina Tarot got the High Priestess, which is Persephone in her deck. Wiccan 222 got Knight of Cups. Justin Michael says, for me, I would find it difficult to answer this with one card. Well, and the spread really is for you to use. That's why I also suggested like Oracle card on top of the Tarot card, just to give more depth to the idea. So Sarah got the 6 of Pentacles from Tarot de St. Croix. Scott Harris got 10 of Pentacles. Jamie got Queen of Pentacles. Pokemon got the Lovers. Regina Tarot. Oh, I already said that. Aquarius Owl got 2 of Pentacles. Yes, Jess, it looked like Hedwig, didn't it? Let's see. Robin got King of Swords. Oh, Mandy's using Cosmovisions and got 4 of Embers. Kirsten Louise got King of Swords. Ginger Faye got Queen of Air. A lot of court cards for this one, it seems like. Auntie K got Judgment. Yeah. That is something. And Sadhana says, again, the lesson of grief. Every past life ancestor reading this pattern emerges. Interesting. Julie Kusha Watts got the 10 of Coins from the Ma'at. So there's definitely let's see, yep. Okay. Here, Justin Michael, this is the spread that we're using right now. And I was about to jump over to question 3 now, which is just under 2. So 1, 2, 3 is one column, the first column on the left. And that's basically past things, energies that are coming from the past and affecting you now. Middle column is what's happening now. And then the right column is the energies that you're going to project into the future. So the third one is, what messages do my ancestors bring? So this is going to be a little different for each of us, because even if two people get the same card, it could be a different message. So you really have to tap in to your intuition really deeply in order to really understand this. And oh wow, okay. My number 3 card is death, which is actually pretty profound considering what messages my ancestors bring. I've dealt with death a lot in my life, and they're telling me that this is something that I will continue to deal with, right? I don't know if you can see, but you see the ancestors behind this woman and all the bull heads, because, you know, full moon cycle of Taurus. So for me, this is telling me that my ancestors are with me always. Death will never really separate us. And they're here for me if I ask for them, right? Oh, really, Kian? So let me pull up the spread again and see what kind of cards you got. So Colleen asks, will you post the spread on your site afterwards? So I actually already posted it on several groups. But you're right, I did not post it to Jonathan's Tarot group on Facebook, but I did post it in Hermit's Cave, Tarot Play Date, Life Without Walls, Barely Balanced Tarot, and Ginger Phase Hollow. Oh, and Ginger Faye is actually using an oracle, which I love. She got the Shaolin Master. Nancy Paperman Tarot got Temperance. Jamie Wandering Mountain Bardic Path got the 2 of Wands. Oak Mama got the 6 of Wands. Renee, Tarot Magician, got 10 of Wands. The Tarot, our lovely Tarot Stash, Gerald, got Page of Wands. Susie got 9 of Wands. There's a lot of wands popping up for this one, huh? Regina got 6 of Swords. Mia got 8 of Swords. Princess What's Her Name? I love that. Queen of Cups. Phasia Rising got the Wheel. Justin Michael got 7 of Pentacles. Julie Kusha Watts got the Prince of Coins. Kristen Louise got the High Priestess, and she says that her ancestors think highly of her. It's true. Sometimes our ancestors think higher of us than we do of ourselves. Let's see, I think I'm down to the bottom. Liminal Lark got the Chariot. Sister Nobody is using the 5-cent tarot. And number 3 is the Messenger with the 9 of Pentacles. Oh, anyway. Very cool. Oh, and Mary Lee also reminded me that I did post this on my Instagram page. So if you want to, let's see, do I have that handy? You can always join me on Instagram at Dailey LLC, and I post spreads and my interviews on there as well. So now we will start with the center column. The top is number 4, and that is past life blessings carried into my present lifetime. So this is things that you excelled at in a past life, that those skills like came over with you, or it could even be like maybe a spirit guide that you talk to on a regular basis that is from a past life. It's going to be different for each of us again. So past life blessings carried into my present lifetime. Oh, wow. So I got the 9 of Wands here. So the 9 of Wands really, from this is like a different image than you're used to for the Nine of Wands. Here, it looks like Moses being found by the Pharaoh's daughter. So that past life blessing is the idea that, you know, no matter how dire the situation, there'll always be a way out for me. Right? There's always some way that like something negative becomes something positive. So at least that's how I'm going to read that. Now let's see, bring that back up and just read a few of those. Regina Tarot got the Sun for 4, who's representing Mitra from this deck. Tanji got Strength. Mendy got the Crow. Nancy Paperman Tarot got the Fool, which is perfect for her. Mia of the Moonlight got Knight of Wands and the 8 of Swords. Be the Infinity, I love that name. 2 of Wands. Oak Mama got the Chariot. Susie got 6 of Wands, or 6 of Swords, sorry. Justin Michael got the 5 of Swords, interesting. Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bardic Path, got Ace of Wands. Amelia Joy got 2 of Cups. Auguries and Signals got 9 of Swords. Debbie Aquarius Owl got 5 of Pentacles, interesting. Oh, chat jumped again. I just love how that happens. Peter, hi Peter, got Ace of Wands from the Ma'at. Gerald got 4 of Pentacles. Lady D got 8 of Wands. Essence got 6 of Swords. Toadstool got Emperor, interesting. Laurie Kramer got the Lovers. Ginger Faye got Seer. See beyond the current situation. 2 of Air. Sense to her. Wiccan 222 got 10 of Cups. Julia Kushawatz got Ma'at's Magician. Wow, that's powerful. Phasia Raising got the Star. Kristen Louise is talking to Mendy. Auntie K got the Hierophant. Oh, cool. Michelle Mountain-Meyer got the Tower and 6 of Swords. Sorry if I'm missing anybody. Sadhana got her card of the year, which is the Tower. Wow, okay. Being able to survive anything, right? Thank you for keeping me on track, Gerald. So let's move on now to our 5th card. And that is center of the spread, and that is, what ancestral gifts do I have to help deal with my ancestral wounds? This could have been split into 2 questions, like what is my ancestral wounds and what are my ancestral gifts? But I figure you don't really know what your ancestral wounds are, because that's why they're there. But if you focus on what gifts you have to deal with anything that boils up, I think that's where the magic happens. And oh, bring that down again. I got the Ace of Wands, which I think for me, I'm seeing the caduceus more than anything. This is me really understanding health, being a health coach, being an acupuncturist, you know, creating wearable crystal grids to help people's energy. I see that energy beam just going right through there. So that is what my ancestral gifts are, is being able to heal. No, hi, Kiana. Don't mind you. So let's bring that back up for you guys. And I'm going to do a few of the cards you guys are drawing, but I can't do too many because I'm starting to run out of time and there's still 4 more cards to get through. So we can 2 got 9 of Pentacles. Tanji got 7 of Wands. Regina Tarot got the 8 of Wands. Jess, Julie Kushawatz got Ma'at's Queen of Coins. Ginger Faye got the Water Guardian. And Artistry of Tarot. Mindy got the Veil. Tarot Stash got Queen of Swords. Wandering Mountain Path got, wait, Swords, something Swords. 7 of Swords. Auntie K got the Moon. Let's see. Kristen Louise got Page of Wands. Dude is in a tree turning clouds into mushrooms. Just got this deck last night, so I'm intrigued by how to read this. Okay. So, jumping back over here, let's jump to 6. So this is where the healing comes from, right? The last one was about the gifts that your ancestors bring. This is more about what energy of healing they bring to you, right? To help deal with the ancestral wounds, really. Interesting. So I got the 7 of Coins, which in this deck, I love this because you see the wheat being grown and harvested, being brought to the mill and then turned into bread, and then in the front you get the wheat with the bread, like before and after kind of thing. So really the healing that my ancestors bring is that ability to, you know, weather whatever it is you're doing, right? The 7 of Coins is about waiting, right? So this, a lot of healing is really just giving your body the time it needs to heal properly. So this is just a reminder from my ancestors that they bring healing. I just need to let it happen, give it the time it needs, and not rush things, right? You can't rush the growing of wheat. You can't rush the baking of bread. So everything in its time is what I'm getting with this one. So number 6, let's see. Princess What's Her Name got the Lovers, her birth card. Mendy got the Mender, I love that. Tara got the 8 of Wands, wow. Neem got the Moon. Nerys got Queen of Cups. Susie got 3 of Coins. Oak Mama, as above, so below. Right. Aquarius Owl got 6 of Swords. Auntie K got the Star. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Amelia Joy got the Page of Wands. Let's see. Oh no, Amelia Joy got the Hangman. I guess she was talking to somebody else. Aphasia Raising got the 3 of Pentacles. Essence says she's feeling cursed, or sorry, Neem is feeling cursed by this reading. Nancy Paper Moon Tarot got the Lovers. Scott Harrison still using the Cosmovisions and got the Wanderer and the reversed 4 of Embers. Donna Raylor got 9 of Coins. Tarot Stash says, I only got 20 minutes remaining, so okay, we gotta go. I think I'm gonna stop mentioning what cards you guys are getting because we still have 3 cards to get through in 20 minutes. So let's just focus. So my connecting purpose through my lifetime. So now the last 3 are gonna be future energies, right? So this is my connecting purpose through my lifetime. So it's past lives and future lives. Oh, that's a lovely card to get. And I love this image too. I got the 9 of Cups from Ott. And I love this image of this man, woman, it could be anybody, enjoying this amazing field of wildflowers, has all the cups around them, and just really enjoying themselves and being in the moment. So that is my connecting purpose for my lifetimes, is helping others find that happiness, find that moment of just pure bliss where time becomes meaningless and you just are really just in your cups, right? And I love that it's the first quarter moon in Virgo, since I am a Virgo. So my cat is trying to unplug me again. Let's see. So our 8th question, let me bring up. How I can heal family trauma and stop it affecting future generations. So this is touching back on the idea of ancestral wounds, right? So you can continue passing on those wounds, or right now, right in the here and now, you can help heal the family trauma so it doesn't get passed on to any more future generations. It stops here with us, right? And it's very interesting because for this card, I ended up getting the 10 of coins. So how I can heal my family trauma and stop it affecting future generations is set up a legacy for everybody, right? Not having anybody feel like they're lacking in anything. Setting up a legacy so my child and his children and their children can feel like they have something really strong in this world, right? That they have a lineage they're proud of. And that's kind of what I'm getting here, because my mother's family, or my mother's father's family, basically, their dad died, and those siblings basically tore their family apart over arguments over who was getting what in inheritance. Someone thought someone else was getting too much, and it tore the whole family apart. My mother didn't get to see her cousins anymore, pretty much. And it just, like, she went from having this big family to having just the nuclear family. So that's what this is telling me, is that, like, don't fight over money, set things up so everyone is happy and they feel like they're part of something greater than themselves. At least that's how I'm going to read this. So I am missing chat right now because I'm over in the banners trying to make sure that we get through this in time so that you guys can throw any questions you have. So our final card is intention for current life that will echo through future lives. So this is something that you're working on right now in this life that is going to echo through the next lives ahead of you, right? So just like we were talking in like the first question was about like important past life lesson, you must understand it fully. And number 4 was past life blessing carried into present lifetime. This is talking about what you're doing right now in this life to set things up for your future lives, right? Are you setting things up so you have more blessings? Or are you setting things up so you're dealing with more things, right? And more coins for me. So I got the 6 of coins. So again, that totally touches on the idea of the 10 of coins energy. Here we have the 6 of coins, this beautiful girl dressed up prettily in a white dress. So again, for me, this is about setting things up for future generations. And like that woman who was her own grandmother, who knows? I could come back as one of my grandchildren or great-grandchildren. And if I have set things up just right, then I will be set for that life as well, right? So that setting up that inheritance will echo into future lives. Right? At least that's how I'm going to read it. So I just want to make sure that we had enough time for any questions you guys might have. And it looks like I missed 120 comments. Oops. So Let's see if I can find. And if you guys have any questions, put it in all caps. Well, Mary Lee says maybe you can do the spread again after Tarothon so we can take a bit more time. It's too fast. She said she'll follow me on Instagram to see if that might be able to happen. So I could do this again in a future live where I'm not squished for time. So if we need 2 hours to go through the whole thing, we can take the 2 hours to go through the whole thing. And we can really just sit down and dissect the cards that we're getting. You're right, this is kind of rushing through things, but I also wanted to give you guys a spread that you can use later, right? Because I know that this is kind of deep stuff. I never do anything shallow. So going deep really does require time. An hour is not quite enough time, but I think that it was a good introduction. And like I said, I really like how this combines ancestral work and past life work into a single spread. Because I really do find that ancestral work, past life work are two sides of the same coin. And the deeper I look into it, the more connected it seems to me. Thank you, Sadhana. Sadhana says she loves this question, number 9. So you guys got some pretty powerful readings. If you have any questions about ancestor work, past life work, please throw it in now. We have about 13 minutes. I wanted to leave enough time to answer any questions you guys have. So I see some of you are talking about adoption and how adoption sucks. I know Aunt TK was adopted, well, was scooped and adopted. That is why when my husband and I decided that we wanted to adopt a child, we looked into different adoption types. And the one that really kind of jumped out at us as a very, like, the only proper way of adoption really is open adoption. And that means that our child's birth parents has visitation rights to come meet him, talk to him. They get to meet at least once a year, not so much during COVID, but we've been pretty good about meeting up at least once or twice a year. And so he's grown up knowing who his birth mom is, being able to ask questions. Her dad has come out to Maui to visit and say hi to us. So let me jump to the bottom here. So, Oak Mama, I haven't actually gotten that book yet. I keep meaning to buy it, but it's one of those things that, like, I need to, and then I forget to. So. And Jamie says there's a great spread to spend time with after. Many of us are journaling about it after, right? And this is kind of one of those things that you really need to dive deep into, right? Let's see, I'm just making sure there's no questions. Amelia Joy says that she's gonna have to pull more cards to reflect on each position at a later time. She could spend weeks or months with this one. Exactly. See, so this was really more of a taste of what I do in my work. So I am available for one-on-one work if you're interested. I have my Facebook group, which is Jonathan's Tarot, and then my Instagram is Dailey LLC. Please reach out either way, either of those ways. I do past life regressions. I do ancestral work with people, spreads like this where we do readings together. I also create wearable crystal grids specifically for ancestor work or any kind of energy work that you're looking for. Super Lunaris was here, which I love because that was one of the decks I suggested. and it's either Jacob or Jess, maybe both of them, and they want to rewatch. I love it. You're very welcome, Mary Lee. So we have about a little less than 10 minutes. I really want to thank Tara, who came on before me with her amazing talk about herbs. I want to thank Simon from the Hermit's Cave and Jen's Balanced Tarot for putting this whole thing together. Oh, Nancy has a good question here. Who are your ancestors if your parent was adopted and you don't know any of them? So I actually have a guided visualization that will take you to the ancestral tree where you can meet your ancestors. And one thing that I've noticed doing it myself a few times is that the ancestor, you have thousands, if not millions of ancestors just waiting for you to acknowledge them. And most of them are not going to be known. The majority of them are from prehistory, right? How many generations back do you even know? So if you've been adopted and you feel like you really don't know, then this kind of work really is very important because it helps connect you with, even if you're not quite sure about your bloodline ancestors, there's still place ancestors, your spiritual ancestors. I mean, you have ancestors on so many different levels. So not knowing a name or like where you come from I don't think it's as important as just doing the work, right? Calling to them to let them know that you want to talk with them, let them teach you, okay? They're the ones that hold the knowledge. If you ask them to come, and I'm not saying just like ask any random entity to come and, but if you are doing the rituals right, if you have an ancestral altar and you are really calling to them, asking them for help, they will come. It doesn't matter if you know who they are or not. We don't know the majority of our ancestors, but they are still there waiting for you to call them. So even if you don't know them, they know you, right? Let me see if there's any more questions. Sorry if I missed any. So Kristen Louise says, you have a spread that may help a person connect with a specific ancestor. I don't yet, but thank you for the idea, because I will definitely put that together. And yes, I would love to do a live chat about adoption and past life ancestral readings. I think that's important work, right? Let's make sure I'm not missing any big ones. Sorry if I've missed you. There was like 111 people at one point. Paper Moon. Oh no, I did answer that one. Okay. Let's see, just making sure I didn't miss any other ones. If I did, maybe pop it in again at the bottom. So Sister Nobody says, do you have advice on setting up an ancestral altar? So I guess it really depends on what type of ancestral altar you want to put up, because so many cultures around the world have their own version of the ancestral altar. But if you don't have like a specific culture you're trying to follow or a specific like lineage that you want to follow, I would just set up a table or like even something like this, like a little stand on the wall, and find things that belong to ancestors, or if you have pictures of ancestors. And if you don't have that, if you just want to put up like if you work with deities and you talk to deities that are psychopomps, the ones that deal with death, you can set up a few of them. It's always good to leave offerings like oranges, little hard candies, alcohol or water just on there. And you want to change those out like once a day to once a week, depending on, you know, if it's going to go bad quickly or not. A white candle is always appropriate to light as to call in the ancestors. There's, what else can you do? I'm trying to be as non-culturally specific as possible because there's specific cultural ancestor altars that you can set up. But I mean, they're very specific, right? So yeah, just little objects or pictures, statues of deities that deal with death, like Persephone or Anubis, that kind of stuff. A little plate for offerings, and a white candle is always appropriate. And I would wipe everything down like once a week, once a month with, it could be like a sage spray or Florida water, whatever it is that you have that will work. And yeah, I think that's pretty basic, but it covers all the bases if you do it that way. So let me just make sure I didn't miss any other questions. And Gerald says a spread is a good start to connect with ancestors if you've never done this type of work before. What about the ones you knew but never got on with? How does that work as they pass over? They're still family. And you don't have to talk to them. You have like so many ancestors you can call on. You don't need to call on those ones unless maybe you want to call on them to, you know, close whatever issues you might still have with them, forgive them or have them forgive you, that kind of thing. And Julie Kushawat says, most of our ancestors beyond the generations with photography are faceless anyway and may not even speak our language. They still know us and love us. Exactly. So, let's see, I'm just making sure I haven't missed any. I just want to thank all of you for being here. This has been amazing. This hour has just flown by. I cannot believe it. Down below in the description, there is a link directly to Sadhana's channel, Integrative Healing with Sadhana, who is our next presenter, who will be talking about bringing the significator back into tarot readings. So if one of my mods could throw up that link, that would be wonderful. Just double checking to make sure you guys are so welcome. This is the kind of work I live for. So it's been a lifelong thing for me. It's just the ancestors have always spoken to me. I have more past life memories than current past life memories at this point. So it's definitely it's a topic that's very deep for me, right? Very touches home very strongly for me. So thank you guys so much. And we have a little less than 2 minutes. If anyone has any last questions, this is your chance. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay, feel free to put the questions down below in the comments, and I will get to it as soon as possible. So, oh, thank you, Peter. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And it is about time to jump over to sadhana, so I will bid you adieu, aloha, and a hui ho.